We're too busy funding war and destabilizing countries around the world to
That's right.
even provide a good, stable life for Americans. And I'm going to keep saying that until, the average person actually gets that. We deserve better than this. We are in an abusive
100%.
relationship with our government.
Okay, welcome back. This is episode 3 of The Activist, my sister, and the expat. Last time we talked, we were talking about Trump going after the oil,
You
and
got
boy,
that
did he
oil.
do it. He got that
You got
oil.
50,
He got it,
how many gallons? 50 billion? 50, I can't even
50
know.
million
500,
barrels.
50 million barrels?
So,
Yeah.
I don't even
I
know where to
told you.
start. Go ahead.
I told you they see what they want. They create the narrative to get what they want. It's the same thing. Like, and I saw a TikTok the other day where somebody compared like the talking points that Trump and his team are using, and they were straight out of the Bush era, George W., Rumsfeld, and Dick Cheney. It was like literally, it's like they went back and watched the videos and said, yeah, that's exactly what we're going to say because the American people fell for it that time. We have not funded education. The critical thinking skills of Americans have not grown over the last 25 years. They've declined. And so I think they are just benefiting from the defunding of education in this country and keeping people poor and things unaffordable so that the people really do not have the ability to do anything. I mean, they do, but they don't seize it. They don't see it. They're, and we're just sitting up here like, what? Like, we woke up like, what? He did what over there? Like, he what? And then when I saw the man had on 5 different outfits on a plane ride, I was like, what did they do to the man where he needs all these changes of clothes? Then when y'all land, y'all got the man in slides and socks and it's cold outside. Like, and then we so petty. Americans are so unserious. And this is why the world should be talking about us. Nike tech suits have skyrocketed in sales because they're
No, we are unserious.
so,
Uh,
so
I
unserious.
know.
Like
So
democracy is decline. The sky is falling. And you people
they out there
decided
buying, they out there putting the stuff on credit card and out there buying
Klarna,
Nike tracksuits.
not credit card, buy now, pay later.
Oh my God. And the crazy thing about how uninformed, or maybe they just don't care, but he just pardoned the president or former president of Honduras, who was convicted of cocaine distribution. Now he's saying that they were going at, remember they lied and said, okay, we're going to stop the drugs coming in from Venezuela. Then they said
Mm-hmm,
it was fentanyl. But his
mm-hmm,
charges in New York about cocaine don't say anything
mm-hmm.
about fentanyl. But he just pardoned a man for doing the same thing he's claiming Maduro's doing right now. Like, it is
Mm-hmm.
just insane. And I know you probably don't agree with this, but I think going back to your previous point about the American people and him using, well, how about the Bush administration? He's basically using the same playbook. I think now MAGA is dead. I think, and the reason why I say that is because Trump ran on this whole Make America Great Again, America First platform, but those
Yep.
neoconservatives have won. He's doing the same thing they've always done. So
Well,
all
yeah.
those people who bought the whole, okay, Make America Great Again and America First and drain the swamp. Trump just expanded the swamp. Trump
Mhm,
just put gold, khaki ornaments in the swamp. He just
mhm.
refitted the swamp, and people are still falling for this thing. And I just don't understand. I just think
Well, that's
MAGA's
why I don't
dead.
think it's
I
dead.
think it's
I just
over.
don't think it's dead. I don't think it's dead. I think maybe the branding of MAGA is not as popular as it once was. I think that, there has been some defection from the MAGA side. But the ideals that MAGAites uphold, those ideals were here from the very inception of this country and will be here until this country burns itself to the ground. And so is the brand of MAGA dead? Maybe. But the ideals that drove MAGA and kept it alive and well, those things will continue to ricochet, reverberate, ripple through our community, for many, many years to come. I think that the thing that drove them the most was racism against, of course, Black and brown people. And that's still being carried out. Taking a brown president from his country in the middle of the night and accusing him of things. I mean, this is stuff that we wanted Congress to do to Trump, right? Like, he
Right.
is a 34-time indicted, convicted felon that has never really seen any accountability. These are the things that we thought our government would do to our president if he were acting unlawful. But what we have seen is both the Supreme Court and our Congress just allow the system of checks and balances that we were sold for all of our civic engagement lives, civic education lives, what we see is a lie. That there are no checks, there are no balances, that if a person gets in power and decides to do what they want to do, that there's very little will from people in power, especially when that person is doing things to ensure that the rich stay rich. Right now, if this was on the other side and this was like a Robin Hood coming in to make sure that everybody had what they needed, they would declare socialism, communism, and all the other isms and shut it down. So yeah, I don't know.
But
I
the
mean, I
reason,
don't know if MAGA's dead.
well, I'm
I
talking
know what
about
you're
as
saying
far
though.
as,
Like
yeah,
their
because
agenda
Trump
is
Trump
so far
clearly
off. Yeah.
clearly sold them out. Clearly is,
Yes. But
I
you
think
saying they
he
coming into the realization there.
they're coming to the realization that the person who was going to make America great again and who was going to be America first lied to them. Now there's going to be
But don't you
probably
know
20 to 30% of them, a third, maybe a third of MAGA is still going to be do whatever he says. But I did see a recent poll where I think
yeah.
only a third of the people who voted for him agreed with what he did. And I think in that sense that Trump is their leader now, I think that's shifted.
Let
That's what I'm
let that
saying.
gas let that gas go down below $2. That'll shift again.
Well, that's gonna
See, he
shift
got them.
some liberals too. It's gonna
That's what
shift
I'm
a lot of
saying.
people.
I,
Yeah.
that's my
I mean,
point. I wasn't just talking
but
about the Magites. I mean, like
yeah,
it'll
yeah.
sway back his way, and let them checks come out. Tyler, we almost in tax time. You know, he promised.
Them checks ain't coming out. Y'all, them check. Listen, but you know what? Honestly, Americans are so unserious that if he gave them $2,000,
Listen, they done named it not just they done gave it a nickname, Tyler. They don't call it the stimulus thing. It's called a stimmy. I need my stimmy. Okay. They have made it like pop culture. And so like people literally are like, he doing what he do. He already president to 2029. We might as well get our money. And I'm just like, okay, that's yeah. Because at the end of the day, what can the folks do who knew this was gonna happen, who said don't vote for this man? Who like 92%, right? Black people in America, 92% of black people voted against Trump because we knew what it was going to be. And so I just don't know what we're expected to like, how we're expected. I feel like, yes, it's serious about the Nike Take suit, but it's also like, how do you keep yourself entertained during these kind of like hopeless, dire times? This
read
is
a
like,
book. Read a book. Pick up a book. I'm buying some darn Nike tracksuit. They make me sick. So, y'all,
laugh so hard. But see,
I
I'm
can't.
also unserious because rather than be really, really mad about it, it makes me kind of chuckle. I mean, I get it on the in my head level, but in my heart, yeah, buy the Nike Take so man. I mean, you know, at the end of the day,
Mm.
it just shows you that we have no
Trump
other
is.
recourse.
I think Trump has grinded the American people down. The people
Child,
who
we tired.
fought. He's been around for so long. People don't
12
realize
years.
now. He's been
12
around
years.
for that long, and he's not just one of these people that pops in and out. He is in your
So
face
constant every
every
day.
day.
It's like
And I
water.
think,
It's like water on a rock.
yeah,
Right?
I
Over
think he's
time, it
just
smooths that rock over. Yeah,
he grinded
we
me
are
down.
tired.
I left.
Well,
So I
well, that's
can't.
what I'm saying.
I
And
know.
then the
Yeah.
rest of us are like 2029, February 20th, 2029. Now we know it might be some insurrection as well, but I
Yeah.
think we saw that play out before, and I think the Capitol might be prepared in a more robust way than they have been.
Forget 2029. Y'all might not get a midterm election. How about
Oh,
that?
we now let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
How about y'all? He might listen. He's
He
already been
might,
testing y'all with this
he
National Guard
has,
thing.
but let
He's
me tell
already
you
been
this.
testing the limits.
I believe that the people
I
would
don't know.
really let me tell you who I really think would feel some type of way. It's them people who, you know, like them people who shot the FBI out of that ranch in Montana. What they call
Yeah.
like them kind of folk. Them they don't want nothing.
The preppers, the libertarians,
You
those type,
don't
the
want them folks.
sovereign
Them don't tread on
citizens.
them for real people, like them folks that live way out. You're not going to be able, and they might not even care about the election as much as they care about the armed militarization. And I think
Right,
that's where the resistance is going to come. It's not might not be over voting per se or the like taking our right to
right,
vote in the midterms, but I do
right.
think Tyler now. I think elections are huge money makers in this country. And because we have money in politics, it does make it very, dirty. What I was saying about elections is I think that even if he did try to stop the elections, just the militarization and the loss of rights, like there are people who would not gonna care about the election not happening. But I believe like those Bundy families, like those families out there that are those like ranchers, like homesteaders, like they're not for that occupation type, I
But
can't move freely through the world.
how many
And what
of
I
them
mean
are
is
there?
is all well what I but all you need is a spark.
Right.
Americans are like a powder keg. You just literally need a spark. You remember George Floyd, it it took time, like, right? He was killed on like that Monday, but by that Friday and Saturday, America was up, right? It just took a spark. Like once we saw what was happening and the news got out, like, oh, there's a large resistance happening. Then it was
Right.
like boom, it was like a wildfire. So I and that was just over a black person getting killed. And we know how we feel about black people in this country, right? And so like we're talking about white people's rights, fundamental rights, and their right to movement, right? So we have to understand black people, we've been restricted and relegated to certain places. Brown people, poor people, we have been redlined and go here, can't go here. Even, trans people can't go here. So marginalized people have already experienced the loss of liberty and, restricted movement.
Right.
When them
Yeah.
white folks who are entitled get to be restricted in their move, them Karens gonna Karen and them Chads gonna Chad though. They're not.
But
It
but
ain't gonna be
w-
sweet like
what
Trump think.
but don't you think okay, okay, I agree with some of that, but what I guess my question is, do you think it depends on how he frames it? Is what I'm saying. Like, or does it
No,
not
I don't think
matter?
he can frame it. I don't think that matters.
Okay.
And I also think that elections make so much money that his own party would turn on him.
Okay,
You
okay,
got to
all right.
remember. Come on now. Let's
But he
think
don't
about the
really
money
care.
in
He
the
don't care enough
politics.
about them. He don't really care about his party. I think
But
he
they care. They care.
well, I
They
think there is a civil war going on right now within
That's a civil war. Well, this is civil war in North
their
Carolina
community.
Republicans right now.
Yeah, it
And
is
if that's any
definitely
indication of what's happening in office, which I think it is, right? Like the Republicans here in North Carolina, the House and the Senate cannot agree. We're the only state, like I think I told you, that does not have a budget because the House and the Senate cannot agree. They're finally starting to come around to some talks now because it's what an election year, right? 26.
right.
They need to try to present a united front with a united agenda against, Charlotte being all this crime ridden in Charlotte. So we got to be tough on front. Like that is starting to emerge. And I do think that, like I said, it's a lot of money in politics. If there was no money in the politics, then I believe that he would shut it down and would nobody bat an eye.
Yeah.
But these
Well,
people
he
make
definitely would. Yeah.
millions of dollars
But
in
but
during election time. He ain't shutting it down.
yeah, true. That's true. Now you're right about that. The money factor. But
There's
my
too
thing
many
is
white people without jobs because with
it
600,000 black women that have lost their jobs since the beginning of 2025, that's
right.
cool. Ain't nobody having no big deal about that. But let a
So
whole bunch of white people start losing their money.
you don't think there's any way he can frame it that half of his base would swallow. I'm not saying it is true that he could
Yeah.
do that, but I think that
No, there's gonna be some diehard people who like, no, he right. We don't need to have these midterms. He needs to
right.
stay in power. We need to stay. There
Yeah.
are those people who are going to say that. But again,
Yeah.
um,
But
I don't think he's going to be able to pull that off. Now,
yeah,
listen, I could be
because
wrong.
people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Candace Owens and even Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, he's lost them and they're taking a big group of MAGA with them. In fact, of course, they seized on opportunity. Netanyahu was over here with them last
Which,
week, and then he
wait a
leaves.
minute.
All of a sudden, they do
Yep.
more military action. And he started talking about Iran again. Now he's talking about
Yep.
Cuba and
Yep.
Greenland. Lord have mercy, Greenland.
And then Yahoo is what, a war criminal and a warrants out for his arrest
Yeah.
all around the world.
So
And you
this
didn't
whole
take him in.
Zionist thing is popping up again.
Ooh,
That has gotten to some people in MAGA. This whole we're still giving Israel aid, and it seems like we're doing a lot of things
listen,
on the behalf of Israel and not doing what they said they were going to do for the American people.
America first.
America first, and we
That's why
know
my
that's not
Dommy
happening.
won in New York right now because of
Yeah,
affordability. He put New York first. He didn't say that. That's not the words he used, but that's the sentiment. New York
uh,
first. We're going to make sure New Yorkers are good. And New
yeah,
Yorkers responded to that. And if they are just a, snapshot of a smaller microcosm of what America is, we are we are ready for change. And when I say change, I mean collectively. The news cycle is not even like so much has been altered in the 12 years since Trump has been a daily part of our lives. I don't even think we realize how far we've shifted. Like it's like the ocean, right? Like you're sitting down and your kids are playing, and then next thing you look, the kids are way down here because the ocean has like pushed them down. Like we
Right.
don't because we don't have a we've not focused on like a point in the past that we could hold on to keep us oriented. We have just drifted down the MAGA cesspool with them. We can say whatever we want. We are in the same cesspool that MAGA is in every single day.
Right.
We are in the
Right.
same vicious cycle that they're in. We are in the same unaffordability cycle. We're in the same media cycles. Whether you watch Fox News or CNN or MSNBC or MS Now, all of them have become so polarized that none of them are good news sources because you
Right.
don't get, unless you're reading like Reuters or like AP or even like BBC, that's all Americans know is like BBC. Outside of a BBC, where do you turn to for news? Like, where do you go and get, like, I know, like, I see TikToks about like, the news in African countries and how like they just tell it. And I'm like, where can we watch that? Like, what's the
Right.
channel?
Yeah.
Excuse me, how do we
Boy,
tune
they
in?
dragging America right now. They dragging
They drag
America and
I know.
Americans.
I
Like I
know.
said,
And we are
I
horrible. We are
yeah,
horribly privileged. We are.
it is,
The fact that we
it's,
out here buying architects, that's
and
just a
see,
sign
that's
of
why,
privilege.
and see, it's it's so many distractions over there. It's like the Roman Colosseum.
Yes.
They keep
Yes.
you entertained. Are you
Are you
entertained?
are you not entertained?
Are you
Come
not
on now,
entertained?
Maximus.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
that's literally what it is. And capitalism, not just capitalism, consumerism in this country, Tom, is so like we were standing in line for Christmas, right? People are buying Christmas gifts, last minute Christmas gifts. But Valentine's Day is already out. So we have not made it through this holiday. And you are pushing the commercialization of this next holiday. So now people are trying to get, oh, let me get these hearts and this pink and this red. So it's not like everything has become commercialized and commodified and packaged to be bought and sold. And that's what Americans look for. We look for nice little neat things that we can buy. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be
Yeah.
packaged right. If it's not, if it's too hard, we don't want that. That's inconvenient. Like it really, we are privileged here. And so I hope the rest of the world sees us for who we really are. We don't have on any clothes. We have on no clothes. And I'm not necessarily embarrassed because I'm a black woman living in America. All I can do is politically analyze and critique and organize my community and try to provide resources. But other than that, this ain't my world. We're just here. You know what I mean? And so
Right.
I think a lot of black people feel like that. Like we just here and we're trying to make the best of it. And I have talked to so many black people now who are like, where are we going? Why are we here? How long do we invest in this? Like, how long do we say, okay? At what point do we say, you know what? These people don't like us. We don't like them. And it's ghetto here. And we go somewhere else and have a good life. And I'm telling people, hey, my brother's doing it. I don't know how you feel about Vietnam, but I mean, I don't think you can feel anything any worse, right? You didn't live in here. There's people over
Vietnam
there
is
ain't gonna bother you.
Vietnam is fantastic. Let me tell you,
Listen, when I was in
today
Thailand, them people didn't bother me at all.
they ain't got time for it. It's a different culture here built on
Mhm.
respect. That's just what I tell people all the
Mutual
time.
respect and
It
collectivism.
is
And see, here
just
it's
That's
all
right.
about individualism. And that
That's
is
right.
where we need to get away from. The way that they keep us separated is by making us feel that we are so different in this country. When the reality is, we all want the same thing. Whether you live in West Palm Beach, Florida, the Gaza Strip, Long Beach, California, or Inglewood, or North Carolina, we all want to raise our children and have families that are in healthy, safe, vibrant
Right.
communities that are thriving and bustling. We want those things. We're too busy funding war and destabilizing countries around the world to
That's right.
even provide a good, stable life for Americans. And so, and I'm going to keep saying that until, the average person actually gets that we deserve better than this. We are in an abusive
100%.
relationship with our government. They
Right.
are taking our money and doing it's like a husband. The wife work all week. You come give him a check and he go out and spend it on whatever he wants, women and girls and gambling. And you just like, but kids is hungry. We don't have no clothes. We don't have,
And he
and he like,
and he
figure it out.
gaslights you. Yeah,
And he
gaslights you.
guaranteed it's your fault. If you had been
Yeah.
a better woman. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is what
Yeah.
we are experiencing collectively as American
Yeah.
people. And so our deference to white men in this country is going to kill us all. We defer to white men in this
Mhm.
country way too often, and it is literally killing us all. For all of our research, all of everything that we understand about science and health is through the white lens and the white perspective and white bodies and white experiences, and that has limited us in so many ways. And all of us are suffering because not everybody is a white man, right? And there are differences, biological differences, and different
Right.
needs that don't get met and go unaddressed because every system that we have is modeled and based off of like white men. And so, yeah,
Yeah. It's
Americans are suffering, and the average one knows that they're suffering. But you know what they think? They've been gaslit into thinking that y'all suffered in Vietnam. That's a third world country. We in a third world country. What are you talking about? This is a fourth world country, matter of fact, because Flint and Mississippi ain't got no water for years. No, they don't have no water. What are
right.
you talking?
And
This is a
and
third world country.
yeah, the way America's portrayed around the world, people, all of my students think I'm rich, all of them. I'm like, y'all, it ain't like that over there. I said,
Baby, if
what
we could
y'all
just take them to the
see?
hood.
I say, y'all, it's not like that over there. Teacher's rich, teacher's rich. I'm like, listen, I am not
I
rich,
want y'all to
but
FaceTime me one day when I'm over in the hood, helping the crackheads
oh no,
and feeding them and clothing them.
mm-mm.
Yeah, no,
I
FaceTime me
ain't
so I
exposing
can
them.
see.
I ain't
Get the
exposing
tiny.
them kids. Listen, I ain't exposing my nice children to that.
Let me tell you how I know you're not
My
lying.
babies don't want to see that stuff.
Let me tell you how I know you're not lying though. I met with some folks from Asia. They were from China though. They had come from China and they were here with the State Department. I do this where Kirsten used to work, and so
Mhm.
I met with the folks from China, and I was telling them the point was for me to talk about the justice system here in the United States and to tell them my story. I was just telling this, but the people started crying. I was like, oh
Yeah,
Lord.
they don't understand
and,
this.
and
They don't
and so
understand this crazy
the
stuff.
interpreter, was like, "I'm sorry, but they just don't understand." I said, What you mean?" Like, so the people, they were so sad for
Yeah,
me. They had never heard anything like it, and I was just
yeah,
going. I felt bad for exposing them people. I was like,
yeah.
"Why y'all ain't tell the people the stuff?" They were
Mm-mm.
like, "No, they need to know. They need to know." But I was like, "Nah, the way them people was forever changed by the
Yeah.
words that came out of my mouth. I don't ever want to see." So I understand you not telling them children that because,
Mm-mm,
yeah,
mm-mm, mm-mm.
our children see every day in America, our children are
Uh,
desensitized. That's why the kids they got bulletproof backpacks, child. Like they're
it
not saying let's get rid of the guns. No, let's just
yeah.
make the children bulletproof. What?
I don't even I might have told you this story. If I have, I'll cut it out. But this past summer, the Superman movie came out with the cute little dog,
Hmm.
brand new
Yeah.
Superman. It was too violent to take my 9-year-old niece to. And I was sitting there like, I
Oh
didn't
no.
believe it. I was like, y'all crazy. I said, look, she's going to see Superman. It's Superman. So
Right.
they were like, no. I was like, they were like, no, this is not America. This is Vietnam. And I went and looked at the ratings. I took the girl. I walked up to the thing. I said, look, we're gonna look at these things. And they were like,
Yeah.
no, under a certain age. I think it might have been 12. I don't know what it was. It was
Couldn't see
violent,
Superman.
but could not see Superman, even with the parents, because the level of violence that was
Yeah.
portrayed in the movie. Um,
Yeah.
for an American, that ain't nothing. We watch Saturday morning cartoons more violent than, or just as violent as Superman was. But in Vietnam, now people might say, "Oh, that's what you taught. That's what you do living in the communist society." Well, maybe they're doing something that's working because I ain't got to worry about that 9-year-old girl pulling a gun on me or stabbing me in the classroom either, or punching
Talk
me or
about it.
cussing me out.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked that she couldn't watch Superman at that age, but I
Yeah.
also get it because when I walk in my classroom, there is zero fear that I have of the students in
I
Vietnam.
understand. Yeah.
Or even the adults for that matter. Anyway, so listen, we're running a little long. I appreciate you.
Okay. Yeah. We'll
I'm gonna
talk
let
soon.
you go. Y'all keep fighting a good fight. Anyway, if you like what you see, we just sit here cutting up, talking about life, basically in America, and also from my perspective here in another country, living abroad. Like and subscribe. Anyway, bye.
Bye, y'all.
All right, lady. Enjoy your day. Tell everybody.